So, I welcome everyone to this two-day workshop by Eduinx. So, my name is Priya Arkeri, and I work with Eduinx. So, before we start, I would like to introduce about the trainer for this workshop. So, Mr. Snehashish, he is a group manager and principal consultant at Evalue Serve. So, with a strong experience in data science, machine learning, and analytics across global clients. So he has worked on large scale data projects and has guided many students and professionals in building successful data science career. So as we have two-day workshop, so today's last half an hour is very important, a special career guidance. It will be conducted by our co-founder, Mr. Guru Murthy. So I want everyone to mute yourself till the end of the session. Your doubts, everything will be addressed by the trainer. And participation, with regards to the participation certificate, we will provide the students and the candidates who are joining for this 2 days workshop by the end of the next week. And thank you everyone for joining. Now I hand it over to Snehasis sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Priya. Thanks for the intro. So, today's the second session. Before we start today's session, uh, if someone has any queries from the yesterday's session, we can take that uh, and we can discuss it for 5 minutes and then we can start going ahead. So, now it is 8:12. Uh, Maybe if you have any queries, you can paste it in the group chat uh, and I am okay to answer. Or someone wants to speak, they can speak as well. It's fine, both ways. Okay. I think everyone is clear. I don't see any queries coming. Fine. Just to give an overview of what we went through the last class, we understood why data science was important, why it is the need to learn data science right now, regardless of the field that you are in. It is a component of learning that you must have in this decade of professional work, and it is going to become more and more advanced as the years come. So it's a good decision to start looking into this field. That is what we discuss. Okay. See, Hemant, whether this be any field, even in the field of biotech, okay, there are data science use cases which is heavily used in medical industry. Did in the areas in which the data science is used heavily, medical is one of them. And since I don't believe bioinformatics gives you analytics input. Analytics input. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So I don't believe bioinformatics gives you any sort of analytics or predictions. Please correct me if I'm wrong in this. Does it give you? You can unmute your speaker and you can say Hemant if you want to say. It gives basic idea. That is what I'm saying. It might give you basic idea.
Basic idea. Sir, first of all, good evening to you and good evening, ma'am, and good evening to all of you. Sir, actually, bioinformatics gives us basic idea about basic tools, not give us the details like in bioinformatics we are like dealing the small data, but when we are calling data science, that means it gives a huge data to us to process it, to analyze it. So it's a lot of difference in it.
No, but what
No,
I'm
but what I'm
asking is,
asking is,
uh,
uh,
whether does it
whether
give
does it
you,
give you,
you can mute
you can
now
mute now
because my voice
because
is
my voice.
getting echoed. Yeah. But what I'm asking is, does it gives you the prediction capability that if
No,
you
That
give,
sir.
if you give,
yes,
yes,
that is what
No,
I'm
that is
sir.
what
saying.
I'm saying.
That data science is one field where, regardless of your industry, you use data science right now so as to make sure that your effort becomes significantly decreased. Okay, now I'm just giving you an example. In medical industry, what happens is, yes, in medical industry, in the forensic science, I'm just taking this whole area of industry of the medical because I see a little bit more people pinging in this. What is the demand of a particular medicine going to be in a particular period of time? This is a very basic use case. I'm telling you a very, very basic one. This is happening all the time. So if you are staying in a place like Delhi where there is a lot of air pollution, then all these things might be used a lot. What medicine to sell, how much to sell, what is the dosage that needs to be sold, and based upon that, orders are giving. You take any medical industry, they use this. Any medical industry. If you want to go into a little bit more complicated stuff with respect to genes and various things, even there now data science is used, because what happens is, in the cases of medicines, previously there was a period when you would do all the physical testing combining this chemical with the another chemical and try to see what its reaction would be. Now that period has shortened a lot. The reason is, you have the data and you have the composites of the chemicals that you are trying to make as a medical industry, and you're trying to combine them and trying to see which are the combinations most likely you are going to perform, or most likely will be beneficial and most likely will be harmful. So previously, if you were checking, mm, just an example I'm saying, 100 combinations, if you come, what is the effect of this particular medicine on human beings? Now, with the past historical data available, when you run through the model predictions, it will tell you that, okay, maybe you don't need to consider all the 100. You might need to consider 10 15 scenarios where the effect might be very much high. And based upon that, what happens is, you then check, okay, your testing time becomes significantly less. If Are you able to get this, what I'm trying to say? And see, just think one thing, even further simplifier, a more simplifier use case I'm telling you. You are releasing a medicine. Whether that medicine is effective or not, for that particular population, how are you going to tell? You don't have the full, for example, I'm telling, if that medicine is going to be effective on any particular geography where there is extreme cold or extreme heat, whether that is going to be effective, you can't take all the people from that particular place and try to test it. You will take few samples, test it, and make a predictions. So all this is getting part of data science now. And you will finalize at the end of the time that this medicine, whatever it had an impact on the people, that is significantly different from people not using this medicine. So there are data science concepts to this. That's why it is heavily used in data science in the areas of this one. So whether this be any field, that is why when yesterday I was taking this session, I purposefully took the example of an HR use case, because an HR use case is a some use case where the technical intervention may not be as much, but only management might be there. But in that also, HR analytics is huge. And when I see in the group chat that people are coming from a technical background, like, or a domain background, for example, in medical or forensic, one of your questions was from a forensic background. Uh, it is very much used. Even the government now uses predictions, machine learning in forensic science, because whatever possibility that you are trying to check has happened in a particular scenario, the data science just not only gives you the output, it also tells you what are the percentage of that output to be performed. It calculates everything for you. So it's a huge application in forensic science. And when you have this sort of a domain as your background, you are already at an advantage position. You're already half there, but the other half is important. If you complete that, then you become a valuable person within the organization. That the person not only has the domain skills, but also has the data science skills. And that is something in the area of data science is valued the most. If someone asks me today that, okay, please tell me if I need to give a loan to this particular person or not, I might only be taking the columns that is in front of me, that someone has given me the data set or the table. But if a domain expert who has worked in the fraud, he might tell me, you need to take this, but you need to also check how many different phones he has used, how many different IP addresses you have used. So his expertise is very much valuable. And when you combine this both, that is where you become the most valuable part. So don't think on these lines whether you can use it or not. Everyone is using it. The question is whether you know to use it or not. So does this clarify you guys queries whether we can use it in our field or not, or anyone else has any queries in their own fields? Okay. Let's start sharing then. Let's me go ahead. So like yesterday we were going through few of the uh, coding basic structures, what are we going to use and various things like this. We went through few of the steps. These steps, when you will learn into a lot more detail and a lot more practical examples that will take place. I'm just also showcasing you a little bit on the visualizations. See, this part is something where you have a lot of tools available in the market, Tableau, BI, various kind of things. But for that, you will need to create the data, finalize after doing everything, and then put it in the dashboard. Because calculations in the dashboard might be very, very slow if they have to do a lot of calculations there. But as part of visualizations, which means what? Visualizations is basically checking what this data is telling me. After all the cleaning of the data, removing the values that are no longer required or that are junk values, what is this trying to tell me? And you showcase this thing to the business. You try to showcase this thing to the business, telling that this is what is telling me. Please correct me if I'm wrong or there is any additions to this. Here again, I've taken that use case of the iris use case, and I'm trying to see what is the distribution of my various output that I'm trying to predict. The power of the data science is it predicts the next what is going to happen. So whatever I'm trying to predict, that output column, I'm trying to see how well they are distributed. So here it shows everything is distributed equally. Basically telling me that all my output variables which I'm going to use for my model understanding are spread equally. And if you see, it is basically what? Count plot. The word itself is defined. I am using, you can use either one of them. This is Seaborn or Matplotlib. You can use either one of them. Again, this is something how the distribution is happening. One column versus the other. One column versus the other. How the distribution is happening, that helps me to understand how, what is the impact of the one to other. This is called as something called a scatter plot. Box plot. This is something which shows outliers. You have 10 values. 9 values are within the range of 1 to 10, but one value is more than 100 or more than 1000. That is an outlier. It is not coming within the range what the other values are coming. That you can see through the box plot. This is called as a heat map. Heat map tells you how each column is dependent on the other. Means if you change the value of one particular column, how the value of the other column changes. Is there any dependency? If yes, their value will become darker and darker. If no, their value will become less. So if age and salary or experience or and salary are interrelated, they will have very high color between them, dark color, or the shade will be darker. In data science term, we call that as correlation. Now, why I'm at the end of the day, what these visualizations are? These visualizations are only for business presentations. Whenever we say as a data science something to our business or draw a conclusion, we have to prove that statistically. There are statistical methods. And when we prove that, then we use the visualizations to show our proof to the business, because business may not understand the numbers. They will understand the visual charts. And visualizations importance is limited to only that, number charts. So remember this, visualizations is not to draw conclusions, statistics is to draw conclusions. Once you have made the conclusions, visualization is to use presentations to show your conclusions to clients or business. That's it. Any questions? See, don't get worried about the Python script or this one. It is mostly standard. So the only preparation part is where you need to think logically a little bit, like we were discussing yesterday. How much to remove? What is the data based upon that? Okay, this looks like a junk data. Okay, let me remove this. So there, the list, the flow, if condition, all these kind of things you might have to use. Shall we move ahead? Okay. Let me see once if anyone has any queries. Okay. So in the same way, let us go into a little bit more on the machine learning. Till now, what we have done is we have cleaned the data. We have now done the visualizations. Now what we are doing is we are going to see how the machine learning works. But in very simple work or mindset, what is machine learning? Yes, in the wordings, we know that machine learning is like trying to understand the patterns in the data within a short period of time. That short period of time is is relative to the data that we have. But internally, what machine learning does, it basically is a approach where you can say that it combines many features, or it combines many input values and tries to find out the output. Example, suppose if your column has suppose this is one particular table. These are the columns. These are the input columns. This is the output column. Machine learning will tell one, machine learning will combine all these columns and try to predict this output. Now, similar something like this is also done with any other language. You can just write a if condition. If this is this, then this is this is this is this, then this. But machine learning, what it does, it not only combines it all this value, it provides different importance to each particular column. And it is not that you provide, it is something that the machine automatically from the data, learns from the data. How much importance to give to this column 1, how much importance to give this column 2, 3, 4, so that finally this output is predicted. That's why it is very much important that your data should be good. The more you have the data, more scenarios are, are there in the data. For example, today, if I want to predict what is the house price of a flat or a land going to be in Bangalore, I just cannot take uh, people from Jayanagar or any particular area and try to use that throughout the Bangalore. I have to see various other places. I have to take details from all these places. And then I can only predict, okay, if you are going to take this particular place, this is the price that you might have to pay. So, how much good your data is with respect to everything covering, that is the best thing for you. How much detailed the data is, that is going to help. Covering all the scenarios. The example that I give, when I say covering all the scenarios, I mean I have taken from every place in Bangalore. I have taken from every salary group that are present in those particular areas. I have also taken what are the landmarks in each area that is there. How many people generally go to this particular area? What is the number of count people living in this particular area? What is the future plans. Is there a metro coming into this particular area or not? All this kind of input. Then only your machine learning model will be a very good model. And then you will be able to predict tomorrow if someone says that, okay, there I'm going to buy a flat. Could you tell me what should be the ideal price in this particular place? Then it will tell you, okay, based upon all these points that I see and the importance of all these points that I see, I will tell you that this is the price, is the correct price for a land of this much particular square feet or area. So it is giving each one of those columns different importance. It is learning from them. So what happens is initially you will have a data with all the values. Suppose I'm giving 1011 is the square feet, 900 is the square feet, 300 is the 300 is the square feet, 2000 is the square feet. Like this, all these other columns, metro, yes, no, yes, yes, all these things, and the output it is telling, okay, this much square feet should be around 5000 square feet. This should be around 4000 square feet. This should be around 3500 square feet. This should be around 7000 square feet. So this is the data it has with itself. The machine learns the trend. Okay, this price, when it got changed, this particular column also got changed. So like that, it learns based upon the output for this particular set of input. This is the output. For this particular set of input, this is the output. So it learns this input leads to this output. And from there, it understands, okay, how much column 1 is important, column 2, column 3, column 4, and it gives weightage. And then tomorrow, what happens is if you give something like 1200 square feet, yes, something other, two column values here, and you ask it to predict the column price. That time it might say, okay, 2500 is the column, is the price. This is its prediction. So it has got, the machines have learned that with this input, this is the output. Now, when you are giving this particular input, this should be the output. So this is your actual data, and this is your prediction, or shall I say predicted data. This in machine learning language is called training. This is where in predictions, you are doing predictions or you are doing testing, all these things. Any queries? In general, what is machine learning? Okay, few people are still there. So, and there are some matrices in that. This is what I was trying to see, that in a very simple way, how it understands all these things. And when you analyze a machine learning, there are also a few parameters that you analyze. You analyze something called as precision and recall. Precision means how confident the model is in its own prediction. How confident the model is in its own prediction. Recall means out of the total cases or out of the total predictions, how many of them were true? Basically, what is it saying is prediction is says that if I predicted 10 people, or sorry, if I predicted 5 people to be fraud, and out of that I found out that only 2 people were actually fraud. So, how confident am I in my prediction? So, whatever I predicted, out of that, how much actually were found out to be true? So that's why it checks how confident the model is in its own predictions. Recall checks out of the total predictions, out of the total actual cases, sorry, means out of the total frauds, how much was my machine learning model able to capture? Now, these two are very, very much significant because based upon the use case, your metrics will differ. If I am doing in a medical domain, example I'm taking, I need to make sure all the, if I'm taking, making sure that I need to detect all the persons with, for example, COVID or cancer, then I will give a model, use a model which has high recall, means out of all the cancer patients, how many of them were getting detected by my model. Whereas if I use precision in cases where, for example, in the case of Amazon or Flipkart, e-commerce, whatever recommendation my model is giving me, whatever recommendation my model is giving me, that means my denominator is whatever my model has said. Out of that, how many were actually true? So if I open my Flipkart and if I see that my model is telling me that this person is going to buy this particular 10 products, and there I have bought only 2 or 3, then my precision is 20% or 30%. My base value is how many from the predicted got converted. Whereas in the recall, it is different. Recall will say that if I open Flipkart, that this person actually bought 10 products. and how many of those 10 products did you predict that this person will buy? Now that can be 1, 0, anything. So it is taking total as a whole. So that's why from use case to use case, this particular parameter gets different. So you will have to discuss with the business what exactly are they looking for. If you choose the wrong parameter, your full model, your full everything will get problematic. Any questions on this? You can unmute and ask if you want. I'm not able to see the full question. Science, is that enough for the programming aspects or any other programming languages is wanted to be learned for data science? I'm not able to see the first line. Just hold on. I'll just stop sharing and just let me see. Yeah, you need to learn the basics of Python programming, and those basics are only for one particular step. See, those steps will be basically common. Few of the steps are basically common. So it is a very limited Python exposure you need. You don't need to be a huge Python developer. So don't worry that you will have to learn a lot on the Python aspect. If you start coding, then in 2 3 codes only you will understand what are the basic steps. And that too, it is possible that nowadays with the various platforms available like chat gpts and the various kind of things, you might just copy that code and you might keep it. You just need to know how to change that inputs here and there so that that input you can absorb. Does it help, Vishal? See, there are particular steps in Python. Those Python steps are standard. Only one or two places you need to learn a little bit more. That is why I introduced that list and public. Rest of all, like I said, in one or two codes you should be able to grasp it. You will just see that okay, the data comes here into this particular. This is my input variable, and this is how I need to get out of it. The main thing is the logical thinking that when you are seeing the data, what to make out of, what you think is wrong, and I need to remove from here. That is important. We are not data engineers, we are data scientists. Okay. So if everyone is clear on this, this is what the formula and everything looks like. So I did not introduce all these terms to you because it is not possible to introduce like this here. It takes time. Now, little bit going even further in the standard machine learning languages. I hope my screen is visible. Yeah, it's visible. One more thing is supervised machine learning, like we were seeing before, right? Supervised, unsupervised. What is supervised? When you have the output. Unsupervised, when you don't have the output. This is unsupervised. That means you are given data, you find out trends. What is this data telling me? What is this data telling me? That is called unsupervised. So if you see in the supervised, we have few algorithms: linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree, random forest, SVM, KNN, naive Bayes, XGBoost. The random forest and XGBoost, they are the most commonly used algorithms. And the word regression and classification means regression is when you are trying to predict numbers. What is price of an object or land, whatever it is, number of people, all this. Classification is something like whether the person is fraud, non-fraud, whether person will buy or not buy. So when you have these kind of classes in your output, when you have this kind of classes in your output, I mean to say, what happened? It is not coming. Yeah. When you have this kind of a classes in your output, it becomes classification problem. When you have a continuous number, it becomes regression. So there are some models which can be used for regression, some models which can be used for classification, some models which it can be used for both. And the most commonly used are random forest and XGBoost. They are little bit advanced models within them. Within them. In the same way, if you see for unsupervised, that means when you don't know, when this column is not there, you don't know what to find. We have clustering techniques. We have clustering techniques. So after this, we'll take around 10 minutes of going through a sample just to see in the PPT itself. But this is just what we saw just right now is this part, machine learning. This is a traditional part. Supervised, unsupervised, what I told you is this one. Advanced part of that is this part. And the bigger part of this is this part. So you're now, what I gave an introduction is at this particular part. But when you master this part, then the other things becomes easier for you to understand because it is the base. The one thing which comes before this is statistics, probability. When you learn to combine all these things, that time you become a data scientist. And when you have data science plus domain, that is where you're most wanted. See, if you see right now how the requirements come in into the various company, they are looking for people who have fraud experience or they have worked in the fraud domain. Why? And they're asking for data scientists in fraud domain. And why? Because anyone can give you these particular columns, but only a person who has worked before on this particular domains will tell you, okay, instead of taking this 4 or you are taken this 4, take one more column 5. This is for the experienced persons. I'm telling people who are already there. For the freshers, don't be afraid because they know that you are starting out. So you might not be having all these things. You might need guidance. So they will have those people with you to tell you where to use what. But you need to understand how and interpret the results out of it. And once you are done with this particular data science part, then the next wave which is going to hit is robotics, then quantum. All these things will build upon this. So if you miss this train, you will miss these two trains as well. So this is around, you can say 15-20 years track. So before we start going through the PPT a little bit more, I'm stopping for 2 minutes. If someone has any queries, please let me know. Okay. Let us see an example. This is a use case where I have a lot of columns and my output is fraud or not fraud. The various, this is a data set that I have with me. So what first I have done is I have imported all these libraries. How do I import all these libraries? there is a tool called as anaconda.navigator. There is one option called as Jupyter Notebook. You launched it, and something like this opens in your web page. It's free. Something like this opens. Then when you do new, it will open something like this. And there you can give import numpy as np. So like this, one line you will have to write. If you see, the line 1 has completed and it has come to second. If it had to fail, it will give, suppose I am writing a something as a failure. Okay, suppose this is I'm misspelling it. See, it will give like this. So it ran the second line, it found a error, and it will show you the error. So like this, here first I imported all this libraries which I want. These are standard libraries. NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, standard ones. So Pandas is basically, we use Pandas because we want to read the data. If suppose this is the data, it can come in .csv file, .text file, .excel file, anything. So whatever it is, you when you import it, you read this into a data frame format. That is what I've tried to showcase to you here. And it is not something that you will have to remember. See, import pandas as pd. Okay, import pandas as pd means I'm importing this particular libraries as pd. So main thing is I need to only know what my libraries is that I want as pd. Okay, now suppose I'm doing df1 is equal to pd dot tab. The tab shows all the options that are available in this to me. So if I give R, then all the other options which starts with R comes automatically to me and I choose from them. I choose from them. See if here read CSV is there to choose, I choose from them. Let me try to read this if it is there still. New underscore data dot CSV. This star means it is running. Now if I give df1 enter, it will show me the data. This data set has what details? In real time, what will happen is instead of this data set, you will have to query some database in production. So like this is telling me if this is the various feature of a particular person, if this is the transaction is doing, this is the amount it is sending to this particular person, it is sending, this is the balance, then whether the person or the transaction is a fraud or not. Zero means fraud, sorry, zero means non-fraud, one means fraud. Whatever you're trying to find out becomes 1. Then you try to see what are the column types in the database. What columns are of what type? Integer, object means categorical, float means decimal. You try to see that. This is a standard command. You it it is this word data means data is what you have read that into, what you have read it into. Same thing again here, the data dot describe. I'm just doing here data because I have read it into the temporary variable called data. There I will do df. Describe, it telling you what is the minimum, maximum, what is the count, what is the various quartiles that you have. All these things it is telling you just to see what kind of, and this is the standard steps. This is what you will do for all the machine learning models. These are some of the visualization steps that I have done, creating, okay, if this is the various columns, what is the distribution of them for the frauds or the non-frauds. So these kind of distributions I'm checking, I'm trying to understand from the data. I'm also checking my database, how many data is with non-frauds, 0, and how many are with frauds, this one, which means it is in this there is a lot less frauds, which is obviously it would be in normal scenario there will be very much less frauds. This is a part where we are trying to prepare the model data for modeling. If you remember from the last class, what we do is I was telling a model only understands numbers. A model is what? A model is a mathematical number. This is one step which converts mathematical, sorry, non-math, I mean, categorical values to integers, get dummies. This is one of the ways. There are restrictions, there are various other ways, but this is one of the ways. Then the standard, the sklearn model, any model you select, it will be there in this sklearn. You import few of the standard things. Standard means you can almost by heart them. That this is the standard that is going to come. And then from here you are importing all the models. See, sklearn you're importing few of the models, and this ROC and this various other things is basically metrics like precision, recall, like that. We have one more thing called as ROC. And here is what your all the training happens. You go through all the trainings. See, these things are very, very much important within the brackets. This iteration, random, these are called as hyperparameter tuning. Base, if you just call any particular model, it is not enough. You will have to tune it. There are some tricks for that tuning. There are some thought process for that tuning that you will need to learn in the course of period of time. That when you learn, and that when you apply in your learnings, in your actual use cases, along with your skill set, that existing skill set, that will give you the optimum results. So this is like when I say fit is something like training. I'm learning. This word predict is something like I'm giving a prediction. So if you see, this is one of the random forests. These are so many tuning parameters. You need to play around with them. And then you check what is the accuracy and various things. And you just don't limit yourself to one model. You check all the other models. Finally, you come down to precision and recall. How do you check those models? You check the precision and recall. What is the precision? Means 80% it is correct in its prediction. It is able to classify it correctly. 77% it is able to classify correctly. Recall means overall 80% it is able to classify correctly. So based upon all these matrices, it then says that out of all these models, which means you do this, you get these details for this particular model. You do this, you take the next model, again you find out this. Again, if there is something else, you find out this. And then you decide which one among them gives you the highest precision, the highest recall based upon the use case. And based upon that, you decide which model you have to choose. So I'll keep it to that right now. If there are any questions, I am open to take. Anyone has any queries? See, here it is a step by step process. Understanding each one of them, and then it will finally make sense to you that why this is a particular domain which is so powerful, and every industry is looking to adopt it. Okay, I see there are no questions. Fine then. Over to you, Priya.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Mostly non-veg on the at night, and probably you may order very less quantity in the weekdays. Am I correct or not? Now, now as a data scientist, you use the past data. No guessing. Now, as a data scientist, you understand the situation. How you are going to understand the situation? Yeah, I'm going to come for that one. If Friday night, most of the people tired after work, right? If it's a rainy day, they if it's an IPL time, you can see like in IPL time they will give like more pizza deliveries. If it's a salary week, people can spend a lot. These are like situations. Can you think about more situation? Guys, just think. Any other situations? I'll give a situation. IPL days, less cooking. That is one situation. Any other situation? Just think about it. Yeah, marriage shop. No, no, no. Marriage shopping won't come as a situation, please. IPL days. I'm just talking about a generalized situation. Yeah, more situations. Say more offers on the day. That's fine. No, I'm talking from the Swiggy point. Festival shopping. True. So you are a same person, Hemant, but on different days, different mood, you have a different choice. Am I correct or not? Now, let's go back as a data scientist, what you are going to do in the Swiggy. As simple as this. So you are going to predict. Got it right? Last Friday he ordered the biryani, so he may order a biryani again tonight. Can you recollect? Even today also you may get an offer from Swiggy or something. Buy one biryani, get one more biryani free. Am I correct or not? Or get one pizza, get one more pizza as a free. You'll get a combo offers, right? So this is the prediction. It's not coding. This is the data scientist job in the Swiggy. Now, this is not a only one job. Then he will, as a data scientist, you will go back and say, first, once you open the Swiggy app, it shows like a kind of biryani in the home screen. Am I correct or not? The food you have ordered a lot of time that will show as a first food, and it will give an action like a kind of it will try to give a kind of one option to you, like if you order by 8 p.m. today, you will get an 100 off, and it will also recommend nearby restaurants. Am I correct or not? This is not a rocket science. This is the situations we are facing every day. Correct or not? Got it right. So this is called as a decision you are going to make with the help of data, and that's the role of data scientist. So what is the benefit for Swiggy? What is the benefit for Swiggy? These are the, yeah, first benefit is in the first itself, in the first tab itself. If I'm going to give like 100 off for the biryani, you are going to order faster, right? So your restaurants are going to get more orders because buy one get one. End of the day, Swiggy earns more. Am I correct with the commission? Am I correct or not? Business benefit is everyone wins. Swiggy get more revenue. This is the role of data scientist, guys. Nothing else, and this is not a rocket science. And coding is a part of the data science, and coding is not only one thing in the data science. This is what I'm going to talk to you today. How you can able to start your career in data science, opportunities and placements. I'll reiterate again, no coding background is required at all. This is as clear as this. Let me ask you a question here. Are you a coffee person in the morning or a tea person? The morning, once you wake up, are you a coffee person or a tea person? Coffee, okay, Swati. Then guys, be interactive. Coffee person, Tarun coffee, okay. Who is the guy? Hemant? Nothing. That's nice. Swati coffee. Thanks. Okay. Guys, I'm just going to show a screen here. Got it right? Uh, this is as simple as this. Got it? You can write a code immediately. Just you need to give a right prompt, whether you want a coffee or tea. You can write this code. This is a Python code. What I'm trying to say is, you know, uh, what I'm trying to clarify here is as simple as this. With the help of ChatGPT, you can write any code. Okay, guys, tell me one situation I can write a Python code. Tell me any situation. Think about one situation. Just share the situation here. Let me write the Python code. Guys, be interactive, please. Think about any situation. Compare my age with my friend's age. Got it right. So we can do this. Got it right. So you can enter your age, friend's age. It will automatically show whether you are older than your friend or younger than your friend. So program takes two numbers, use if else, got it right, and print the results. My request is only one thing. Now you should know where Python. You should know whether this program is correct or not. That is where your knowledge comes. Am I making sense for you? The ChatGPT wrote the program, but when you go back and see whether this code is correct or not, for that you need to have a clear knowledge whether the Python code is correct or not. Vishal, did it make sense for you? Please understand, this is what company is looking for from you, and it's not about just a coding. Got it right? You should know. You should know whether the ChatGPT is giving a correct code or not. This is what the industry that you have to think a lot. If you think a lot, there is no issues at all to get a right kind of career in a data science. And guys, this is the good news happening in India actually. More than 3.1 lakh roles are open in data science actually. And these are the roles you can target: data analyst, data scientist, business analyst, GenAI engineer, and AI product managers. How you can able to differentiate between the data analyst and data scientist? So what is the difference between data analyst and data scientist? Data analyst and data scientist. Think for a minute. Karan, that depends on the companies. I still remember a couple of the companies works on VPN. Got it right. So that depends, Karan. Let's come to this point. What is the difference between the data analyst and data scientist? Guys, think for a minute. This is very, very important because this is where most of the people get confused. Hemant, working on the data for which data fetch and search. A little correct actually, Vishal. Hemant, thanks for Hemant, but not appropriate, not up to that mark actually. Think about it. Let's take an example, IPL here. So think about there are two persons are there, data analyst and data scientist. So what is the role of data analyst and data scientist in IPL? So let me just give you a simple example. The IPL data analyst, you can remember, right? He is like this example is simple for you. It's a person who changed the scoreboard. Got it right? Data analyst. What is the role of scoreboard person? He will show what already happened. Am I correct or not? What is the no? Slide. Try to understand this, Vishal. What I'm trying to say is he will show like what already happened. You know the TV scorecard, right? A TV scorecard. Got it right. In the scorecard, what you can see, few things you can see here actually. How many runs, how many wickets, average strike rate, win or loss record, and everything. Am I correct or not? This is the role of data analyst. As simple as this. So you have a data, you are going to make a decisions. Yeah, projected score and everything. Yeah. So you have the past record, and you are going to show the. You are going to make an analysis based on past record. Correct or not? Data analyst is going to say what happened. Data scientist is like a kind of strategy person. Yes. Data scientist is like a strategy person. Did you ever noticed? I'm going to give my favorite, IPL team CSK example. Did you ever noticed CSK and Dhoni combination probably in the 18th over or 19th over? Guys, be interactive. Did you ever notice this? When Dhoni comes in the 18th over or 19th over, they always give a spinner or a fast bowler. Am I correct or not? So data scientists tell what we should do. Got it right. This is all about they will say Dhoni may have some problem with the spinners or fast bowlers. Please keep 1 or 2 overs balance for let's keep it like 18th over, 19th over, and 20th over. Got it right. Free for the spinners when Dhoni comes on 18th over. Is this making sense? Let's talk about a pitch. Got it right. Say, say probably after 7 o'clock, they may feel some more. Maybe it's good for a spinners. Got it right after 7 p.m. So it's better to play first. You please understand there is no guesswork. He collects data scientist collects loads and loads of data and come back and you know uh, you know uh, come back and give a clear idea to the business. Data analyst is a part of data scientist. Guys, this is about the program we are doing. It's an IBAC program. So it's a Netherlands based program, and it's recognized by the 170 plus countries. And we are a part of NASCOM, STPA, Government of India, and DPIIT Startup India programs actually. And this is the 300 hours learning program with 10 mini projects and 3 to 5 capstones. And we are going to teach you basic maths, Python, statistics, machine learning, deep learning, and Gen AI actually. And we are going to prepare you for the interview process, especially the coding part, statistics part, machine learning part, product part, and behavioral part actually. So, and the placement support with CV preparation, GitHub preparation, mock interviews, interview lineups, and weekly progress tracking. Got it right? And we are going to help you to start your career as a data scientist. And within 180 days, you will become as a data scientist. So we'll help you to become like IBAC certified data scientist within 180 days. It's an international recognition based out of Netherlands. Guys, my request is you can scan this QR code and share your details. So our team will come back to you and share much more details about the data science program, and you can become like a data science. You can become as a data scientist within 6 months. I'm done with my details. Any questions? I'm happy to take it here, please. No, Pushpa, it's not free. We are offering 50% of scholarship fee. So, so, so once you fill these details, the team will talk to you based on your academic scores. They will give the scholarship. Yes, Hemant, it's possible to move from biotech field to the data scientist. Actually, even loads of companies are working on the data science and biotech field. Pushpa, the actual price of the course. Once you fill this detail, the team will contact you and share about the price of the course and other details. Guys, any questions about the roles, responsibilities, career path? I'm happy to answer here. And also, you can scan this QR code, and you can share your details. The team will also be in touch with you to share more details. And whoever attend the course, they will get the certificate, and we will share the certificate within this week. Guys, any doubts? I'm happy to help you here. Yes, Hemant, we are going to teach SQL or Python and all the languages. I'll just show the details here. These are the things will be taught to you. Can you able to see the screen, Hemant? So we are going to teach everything. And these are the key tools you are going to learn. Any other queries, guys? I'm happy to help you here. Yes, Pushpa, you can become as a directly a data scientist without any work experience. Probably they will call as a junior data scientist, or for the first 6 months, you will be called as an intern data scientist. Then automatically you will move as a data scientist, associate data scientist, senior data scientist, chief data officer. And please understand there are about like 2.5 lakhs jobs are available in India just for the data scientists. Pushpa, that depends on the companies by companies. On an average, as an intern, the intern period is for 3 months, 3 to 6 months maximum. And normally they will give us a stipend, not as a salary. The stipend range will be comes from 25,000 till 1 lakh. Yes, yes, Hemant. Loads of companies are hiring in the medical field. And post that, the CTC range will be between 6 lakhs to 12 LPA. Any doubts, please? Guys, whatever the queries, just share your thoughts here. I'm happy to help you. I'm sorry, Hemant, I could not able to get what is your right question. No, Hemant, I can understand your question. Clinical data scientist is different, and data scientist is different, actually. Got it right? Let's take about when you're working as a data scientist in the hospital. Got it right? Yeah, I'm going to come for you, Pushpa. Say, as a data scientist in the hospital, so what you are going to think? You're going to think about like how many patients need ICU, right? And which treatment works better for which type of patient, and how to reduce waiting time for using patterns. Am I correct or not? Probably in a morning time there'll be a loads of patients will be there. In the afternoon there'll be less patients. The evening time, comparatively, when compared with morning and evening, morning and afternoon, very minimal patients. So you'll think about like how to reduce the waiting time. Clear or not? This is the role of data scientist. Say clinical data scientist is totally different. You know, he will deal only with the medical or clinical data, not with the business idea, business the data which generated to the business. Clear or not? For example, a clinical data scientist, he will look at patient age, lab reports, medicines given, side effects, and everything. So, he will think and come back and say, you know, uh, give a medical decision. So, he will improve the patient's health and life based on the trial data. Clear? So, as a clinical data scientist, you will look on the patient age, reports, medicines, and everything. You will come to know and give a conclusion. In the morning, if there is an heart attack at the emergency time, this medicine works better for all the patients. Clear? So this is the role of clinical data scientist. Yes, yes, Pushpa. Yeah, you can get other related contents in the course, especially in Gen AI, generative AI. So we are going to teach a lot in generative AI because this is very important today. Pushpa, I want you to give an idea about what is the meaning of generative AI. Pushpa, are you there? Or someone can explain what is the generative AI? Pushpa, are you there? Yes, AI works on the yeah, my ability to generate new ideas based on the queries. Yes, yes, like a generate new image. Yes, yes, Hemant, the same thing. Yes, with the correct prompt, we can get the exact results that makes the output more accurate and efficient as per the requirement. Yes, true. I'm just giving the same example here. I'm having fever. Got it right? This is what I'm writing. Clear? Can you able to see the screen? Got it right? Pushpa, can you able to see the screen? Okay. Fine. Yeah. Pushpa, now, okay. Can you able to see the screen? Fever. We are talking right. Medical terms. Got it right. This is the medical term for fever. I'm going to use the same term. You can see the words and everything. Yes, Pushpa, can you able to understand now? With the right prompt, you can get a different. I'm just giving a same question. I'm having a fever. I'm having a pyrexia. With the right prompt, you can get the different results. And as from your words, I can say it's exact results that makes the output more accurate and efficient. Clear, Priya? I'm sorry, clear, Pushpa? So this is prompt engineering. You are going to learn this prompt engineering also here. Guys, any other doubts? I'm happy to help you. Any other? Yes. We are going to touch a little bit about the AI agents. Yes. I'm just giving a simple example. That's it. Just for your understanding. As a prompt engineer, you can give a right prompts and get the details. Clear, Pushpa? I hope you have learned something today, all the people. Any other doubts? So we can log off here. And thank you so much. And good night to you all. Thanks a lot. Thank you all.